Been selling coaching for a decade now, and the last few years have changed. But in 2024 and going into 2025, there's going to be a definite change in how people buy and consume coaching. So let me get outside. So over the past few years, the coaching industry has got pretty mature in terms of online coaching. And people now know what to expect. So 4 or 5 years ago, we could have an online coaching program that pretty much looked like put people in a group, give them access to training, and then have some calls. And a lot of people went through these programs and still go through those programs and consume them in a certain way. And what's happened is that people now have preference to do it. So inside my online program, the Syndicate, where I help people get to $1 million a year solo, what we have is kind of 4 different key pillars. We've got the community, where we use school, where people can chat. We've got the training inside school, where people can, learn, get templates, et cetera, There's lots in there. We have 2 weekly calls where they jump on with me and chat. And then we have a WhatsApp channel. And what I found is that different people consume them in different ways. If you know New Zealand sunshine, you know where I'm putting my sunglasses. Then some people are consumers of calls. Their preference is, I'll jump on a call, I will talk to you, I'll get the information there, and then they don't participate so much in the community elements and WhatsApp. Some people don't like calls. They're introverts, or they don't like articulating those kind of things in a group environment, or they don't know what to ask. So they end up using the asymmetric channel, which is WhatsApp. They can message, ask a question, and then get a response from myself or someone else in the community. And then there's a third group, which are the pure training lurkers. And what these people do is they don't participate at all in the calls, in the community, in the group, but they do the training. They run the playbooks that they're given, and they keep pretty quiet about them, and then they pop up for air once in a while and give you an update or tell you how things are going and maybe ask for a quick nudge in the right direction, and then they go off and do it. And so when you're selling coaching and consulting in 2024, you need to understand that there are different people with different preferences and different buying types. And as people have gone through online coaching programs over the last few years, they have developed preferences of how they want to consume your information. And the way to use this information is to be very clear, not past the promises, and the intentions you have. The promise I make is I help people make $1 million a year with a solo consulting business. But I also tell them how the program's going to work, what they can consume, how they can do it, and the options they've got to get access to those things. Because the market has become sophisticated. The people who are buying coaching and consulting right now have bought coaching and consulting before, and they have a preference. So they need to know what is inside it. They need to know what is in it. And they need to know how they can consume it so it conforms to those preferences. Because when they do that, they can build their own adventure. And this means that we, as providers, we have to be a little less rigid about how people consume, how they run through, what time factors they go through, how long they take to get coaching, how much they interact, and be more flexible. Because a lot of people start to kind of buck the wishes of the person in the program, and they start to force them to participate in channels that they don't want to go. You've got to do that on the weekly calls, or you have to come to the one-to-one call. And by forcing these things, you're essentially forcing someone well outside the consumption and the comfort zone they're in, and you're potentially limiting their results, and you are definitely inhibiting their consumption and how they want to be coached, how they want to get the information, and how they will actually want to apply it. So the market has changed. We used to be able to run a pretty linear structure where we could just put people in, they'd get access to the training, they'd come into the community and the calls, and that was the expectation. And providers have to be more flexible, both in terms of what they're selling and having different channels for clients to interact, but also how the clients are consuming it and not force people down small channels. We see the same thing with marketing as well. While the linear marketing funnel still works to a degree, people don't want to be forced down narrow channels. People don't want to be forced step by step and have to do something in a certain way. They've developed their own preferences of how they want to participate and consume in digital information in terms of insight, and they've developed preferences in how they want to be coached and consulted to. So, yeah, the market's changed. We have to deliver more. We have to deliver, more flexibility. We have to deliver more simplicity, and we have to honor, if we want the most from the market, we have to honor how people have their preferences and want to consume them and want to get results. So it's still all about results, but we have to be more flexible in the way we get there.